Hi there, I'm Fox 13 meteorologist Nash Rhodes, and thank you for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. We're going to keep you up to date on what's happening in the tropics. In these past few weeks, Erin has stolen the show. Erin, a Category 2 hurricane at the moment, pulling away from the United States. It has grown in size, but it has weakened just a touch when it comes to the sustained winds that it's packed. Its wind field has expanded, though, and that's why tropical storm warnings are still in effect for portions of Virginia down into North Carolina. And additionally, a tropical storm watch is still in effect for the island of Bermuda, as this is expected to pass well north of the island on its now north-northeast movement at 18 miles per hour as of the 11 a.m. advisory. Here's the latest forecast cone. A notable change here is that this is expected to weaken into a Category 1 hurricane by the end of today. As we move into the end of this work week, it continues on that weakening trend, entering into cooler waters and eventually fizzling out into just a low pressure system or a post-tropical system in the North Atlantic as we head into the end of the weekend. Either way, folks along the Atlantic coastline of Canada will need to pay close attention to some of the impacts this could bring them. But right now, still strong winds being felt along the coast of North Carolina up into Virginia and Maryland. I'm seeing 40-mile-per-hour gusts live right now at various sites like Elizabeth City and Ocean City, and in general, sustained winds hovering around 30 miles per hour in several different spots. This will be pulling away to the north and east, and I'd expect these numbers to drop substantially as that happens. While the wind speeds will be dropping, we're still going to be paying attention to the threat for some storm surge. Currently, we're in a low tide cycle, but heading into this evening, high tide will return, and we currently have active storm surge warnings from Duck, North Carolina down to Beaufort. That is for the potential for 2 to 4 foot surge, and that's above the normal water level. So keep that in mind. Even with this pulling away, still seeing some coastal flooding along the northeast coastline. But in general, the Fox model's latest run showing that weakening trend. Still a very large system, but watch it fall apart moving into Saturday and Sunday. A broad area of low pressure by that point, and definitely not a clean, defined eye like we had just a day ago. Farther to the south on Saturday, as this tracks away from the United States, our attention will be shifting to what has now been deemed Invest 90L. This is another tropical wave that is now moving just east of the Leeward Islands, but likely pass north of them moving into the next 2 to 3 days. And this will have a high chance of development, now bumped up to a 70% chance by the National Hurricane Center within this red shaded region here. This is looking increasingly likely to stay well east of Florida and likely east and out to sea. Even if this does form, it's still very early in the forecast process, and models will become increasingly accurate as the system actually develops. The next name up would be Fernan if it does actually form within that spot. Farther to the east, there are 2 other spots that we're watching. A newly tagged area in the north central Atlantic. This is moving to the east and away from the coast of the United States. It's not going to be an issue for us. Farther to the south and east, we're keeping tabs on Invest 99L. It is very far away from us, over 3,000 miles to our south and east. We have a long time to watch it, and as it travels farther west, there's increasing chances that this is going to enter into an unfavorable environment. So we will see if it lasts that trip from east to west there across the main development region. But apart from that, nothing else brewing in the Gulf or the Caribbean. If anything changes, we'll keep you up to date with new updates right here at myfoxhurricane.com.